Ladies and gentlemen, this is Comics Covered for the week of May 6, 2019, episode 75, a landmark episode where one of us will die.
Oh my god. This is like that Flash cover. Have you... You know about that Flash cover where he's like, you must read this issue or the Flash will die or whatever.
Yes, I heard about that from, Grant Morrison's book, actually. He talks about that.
Yeah, it's great.
I just want to read that issue just because it's probably on DC Universe, right?
I mean, you can definitely look up the cover. I don't know how much the actual issue correlates to that.
Well, Doug, you have to read it.
I'm willing to bet it doesn't.
Doug, you have to read it or else the Flash will die.
Oh, God, you're right. Well, someone read it at some point.
Yeah, but you have to read it.
What if it's someone must always be living who has read that issue, or the Flash will die?
Oh, God. What if someone...
So it's like a...
I mean, I was thinking like someone else always has to be collectively watching that issue. Someone in the world must be watching or reading the issue at some point. So like there's an old man in a cave somewhere, and he's like the Grail keeper in the Holy Grail, whatever. Indiana Jones
Last Crusade. Last Crusade. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Yeah. And he's just like, he's waiting for the person to finally come and release him from his debt so he can be embraced by the arms of sweet, sweet death. Wow.
I'll do it. No, I won't. That sounds terrible.
Do you have to continuously read it? Like you have to always be... Like, what if your eyes move away from the pages for 1 second? Then or, like, just your mind wanders while you're looking at it?
Then you better be hoping that someone else is reading it. I was thinking that it's like a room of monks that are all, like, reading it.
I feel like it's got to be a collective effort.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, it's a mantra. They, like, read off every single thing in acting. Like, they are in character. So they're, like, really good at acting out this issue. They're great actors.
Yeah, but they're all sitting there, they're all looking at their copies, and they're all like reading in unison and then chanting the words. They're like Flash fact, blah blah blah, and then they read whatever science fact that he's telling Wally about.
I have a question about that, by the way.
Sure.
So that was a real thing. Just like that was like a fun fact for the day. Oh, Flash fact for the day.
It was just a silly like way to get some edutainment into the comic book. It would be like how they would take down the bad guy. He'd be like, Flash fact, Kid Flash, I can melt this metal with this acid. And I feel like I don't really know a lot about the like different kinds of versions they would use, but I'm just aware of it as a concept. But
okay, I have two things. So it was basically like a Bill Nye the Science Guy in the clothing of a superhero comic. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I've been campaigning for Bill Nye to play the Flash in the movies for years.
That'd be pretty cool. Let's be honest. Like if he was like an older, like grizzled.
Actually, if we were like in the future of the DCU and like he was like old, like he was the Flash when he was young, I actually could kind of see it.
That'd be fun. Wait, my second thing, I've never heard the term edutainment before.
No.
Yeah,
it's like Math Blaster is edutainment.
What is Math Blaster?
Or like kids' books that... What? Did you never play Math Blaster?
I don't know what Math Blaster is.
It's an old video game where you learn math and you shoot aliens.
That sounds fun. I want to play that.
Anyways, it's like, I don't know. I'm sure you played like... It's a big video game term, but it's also...
I understand it. Like, I understand where it's coming from. I just never heard that term before. Like, it's very off-putting to me, that term. Edutainment. Yeah. It sounds like...
Edutainment.
It sounds kind of dirty to me in a way.
Yeah. You have to go into a back room at the Blockbuster to... Blockbuster wouldn't have a back room, would they? I don't know. The local video store.
The local video store, yes. Here on Comics Covered, we talk about comic books and the world around them. That kind of stuff. The comics industry, the movies, the TV, the games. We'll also talk spoilers, and we'll warn you about them. My name is Jack Johnson. I'm still
That's not true.
I'm still pretty new to comics, and I'm here with someone who is not.
I don't got like who's a famous Doug? I don't know.
Doug C. Williams.
I have no idea who that is. Who is that?
He's like the famous chemist who like basically came up with how you like this one acid that melts steel, you know?
Yeah, apologies for me not knowing the very famous one chemist who came up with that thing that melts steel.
Yeah, it was really weird when he came up with this thing that melts steel. He said flash factor beforehand. It was really weird.
Okay, fuck you. You made this up. I'm Doug Price. I'm here with my co-host Jack Ahern. I doxed you.
Johnson.
There you go.
I'm the singer. Oh yeah, I didn't realize actually that's a singer.
You didn't even think that's who that was?
I hate that. I don't listen to him. I think he's boring. But
did you think that there was a person named Jack Johnson, or were you just inserting random like whatever name?
Both. I knew obviously someone's name is Jack Johnson in the world, but I was
but you weren't thinking specifically like there is a celebrity named Jack Johnson.
No, not at all. He's very far from my mind. Does he even make music anymore?
I'm sure he must.
I mean, okay, does he mass make, you know what I mean? Like, he's not like in the spotlight, right?
No, he makes a song every 5 years. He puts it on a cassette tape and he tapes it to the wall of his grandma's house and he waits for the world to find it. He gives it to one person. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh God. Are you? Okay. You're okay, right?
Of course I'm sure he's still making music
I don't know.
and putting it out there for people.
I'm just saying he's not like in the spotlight right now. You know, he's not like...
Well, no, nobody who gives a shit about Jack Johnson.
I don't know, probably... Hey, Doug, you know, some people give a shit about Jack Johnson. You know?
I'm sure Jack Johnson's grandma cares about Jack Johnson.
I mean, unless she's dead.
She probably hates him. How are you doing this week?
I'm doing great. You know, it's a fun time. Just chilling. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Say hi to your mother for me, Doug. She's very nice.
Mm-hmm. That's good that you said something nice.
I'm always nice to your mom. Your mom likes me more than you, I think.
It's just, I like this idea that you, for some reason, secretly hate my mom, and it's not true at all, but it's very funny to me right now, and I'm going to live in that for now.
What if does she ever listen to this? Like, I don't want her to think that that's actually true, because it's not at all.
I feel like at some point she must have tried, but there is absolutely no way. If I get a text from her later where she's like, of course I listened to your show, I'm going to be like, why?
Oh my God. I'm going to try and...
I'm not like I don't think we like say anything that I would like be afraid that my mom would hear or anything.
Yeah.
I just like, you're not gonna, I don't think anybody, I don't really have like any family or close friends other than you who are like really into comic books.
Yeah.
And so like they would listen to this and they would just be like, what the actual fuck are you talking about?
I told some coworkers about this, like it came up from conversation somehow, and I was saying, yeah, you know, it's really fun. We do it on the weekends. It's great. And they're like, oh, what's it called? I'm going to listen to it. I was like, that's great. Don't know if you're going to like get it, but that's totally cool. Like, you do you. That's totally cool.
You might enjoy the news segment.
Yeah.
Parts of it, and then you're gonna be very lost. In
fact, I was thinking, like, maybe we should make it more penetrable for, like, people. I hate calling things penetrable, but, because what isn't penetrable? Yeah. Everything, I can put anything into anything, really.
Okay, alright.
You're gross.
Anyways.
My week. I was just talking about my week. Sorry. So I watched a trailer just now, and I want to talk about it. I watched a trailer for Avengers Infinity War where they made the music, this orchestral version of Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh, fuck. Was that a real one?
No, it wasn't a real one. It was, I'm pretty sure it was after the stupid fucking Sonic trailer that came out.
Okay, God.
But it was so great. It was actually a really, really good trailer, but it just reminded me of that trailer for Sonic, which I cannot get out of my head.
Did that come out before last week's episode? Did we talk about that on the show?
I don't believe we talked about it on the show, but it's just, it deserves a mention.
The thing of nightmares, that Sonic trailer. Nothing to do with comic books, but holy shit. Well, I mean, there are Sonic comics. There are definitely.
I remember you telling me
there are 100% long-running Sonic comics. But anyways.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just, I wonder how much they're really going to change that character look. You know what I mean? Like,
they can't change it that much. Like they've filmed all these scenes with without doing reshoots. Like, he has to be like the same. He has to be generally the same shape,
like the same proportions, kind of thing.
Yeah. But like, they can change his face,
change the eyes. They can change the teeth.
Make his arms look less human and legs and his body.
I wouldn't even say human. They kind of just look like hedgehog.
But they don't look like hedgehog. They look like they have too much like musculature in them, and it's like that's not. Sonic, I mean, like, I don't want to be a purist about this. I don't even give a shit about Sonic, to be completely honest. I look at that thing and it looks upsetting to me. It's not that he looks different. He just looks gross.
Yes, that's really it. Like, it's just bad character design. Like, you can get mad at that.
It's not a good, like, cartoon animal character.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing. Like, I don't look at that and think hedgehog. I don't look at that and think, like, mutant. It's like a weird blob with human teeth and muscles. I don't understand it. Anyways,
they should make.
They're changing it. Well, I'm very curious what that's going to look like.
I would love it if they made like Sonic like super buff, like 6-pack abs, like huge pecs, just like yeah, I got my 9 million steps today. It'd be great. Change the voice actor to like Gerard Butler.
You know they're going to have a Fitbit joke in there about getting his steps in. Oh, fuck.
Doug, they have it in the trailer.
Did they?
Yeah, they said like, when all those, there's a scene where all those like, I hate that I'm able to remember this goddamn shit. Okay. They have a scene where all the missiles are like being like pointed at him and they're like shooting towards him, and he like pauses the time and he looks at his watch and he's like, I got 9 million steps in today.
You are 100% correct. I remember that now.
Oh,
because
God.
of course that fucking movie is gonna do that. Oh, God.
It's gonna do everything. It's gonna do everything, Doug. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah. Anyways, we've spent far too much time talking about Sonic.
It's only been like 2 minutes, actually. But yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I also been playing Splinter Cell Blacklist this week, which is a great game, by the way. You should play it.
Is that the one that... Okay, because I've played a bunch of one of the Splinter Cell games, like co-op with a buddy of mine, and it was the one... And all I remembered what the gameplay was like. I don't know how to describe it, as opposed to other Splinter Cell games, because I haven't played the other ones. But I know that the one like super distinctive thing I remember about it was that they would project the like chapter titles and mission objectives and stuff on walls and surfaces and stuff, like diegetically in the environment,
like Fringe or like X-Files, right?
Kind of like Fringe in that it was like they would like composite them in the world, but this was like it's literally like a projector is projecting it onto objects in the scene.
Yeah. It's great. It's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's just the only like visual thing I can remember that like that was very distinctive to that. But I really like that gimmick, anyways.
That's so funny because you're a graphic designer, and of course you would latch onto that.
It was really cool. It was really cool. Like you would go, like you're sneaking and you'd go around a corner and just like on a wall, it would like flicker on and be like, mission, kill the ambassador or whatever.
Yeah.
It felt really epic. I don't know. It's cool.
I completely understand. No, I really like that aspect. But it's just a really good like stealth game. I like the idea of being able to play things differently. Like if you fuck up, like, it's possible to shoot everybody, but you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. I love stealth games. The one thing about it is that like, I don't know, like military stories and video games just got kind of like, okay. Like I really love the game, trilogy Mass Effect. That's like my favorite like shooter in general because it actually has like very, endearing and, I can't think of the word, compelling characters throughout the whole thing. And it's a great story. Like, I love that stuff. But with like things like this game, it's just kind of like, I'm playing it for the mechanics and it's fun. Yeah.
I remember the stealth stuff being very fun in that game. Are you playing it co-op or single player?
Single player, because we have it on the computer, so it's a lot easier. Also, co-op is only through online, I believe.
I played it like split screen with someone at some point, but it was also on a console, so I don't know if that differs at all. But
I think that might differ a little bit. I don't know. It said also whenever we try and do like an online thing, it says you can't connect to the server, probably because they're not running it. I don't know. They probably should be. It came out 2013. I guess that was 6 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Servers shut off earlier than you'd think with a lot of games, unless it's like the biggest, like games with super long running like online communities afterwards.
Well, I think like Halo games like still have like Halo 2 and 3.
Like the big online multiplayer shooter stuff is going to have like long running, or like MMOs and stuff are going to have like games that are like pretty much about playing online, but like stuff that's like more single player focused, even if they have an online mode, is going to have a much shorter tail in terms of the server life. But
I'm going to name my child Momo. Momo, like
MMORPG.
What?
MMORPG.
Oh, MMORPG. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Actually, I was just wondering. I'm sorry, this is a tangent again. What's the long version of the name Mo?
Of Mo? For a man or for a woman?
What's Mo a nickname for? I guess Mo for a woman could be like Monique.
Yeah, Mo for a man. What?
There's nothing.
Oh, boy.
Mortimer?
Yeah, that could be one. This is fascinating. Listening here. Anyways.
What'd you do this week?
I saw Avengers again. I saw it again last night in IMAX. It raised some questions in my head. One, that movie's still great. In game specifically, if you're listening to this well after the fact. But
another thing about Avengers, what's the title in the future? Give me a title, Dave. Come on. What is it?
Avengers, the one with the smelly cat. I don't know. It's a crossover with Friends.
That's good.
Yeah. That movie's still excellent. I still very much enjoy it. I'm still very distracted by Fat Thor. Sorry, spoilers for that, I guess, if you haven't seen it. No, the spoiler embargo is up.
Ban.
I mentioned the name. If you haven't seen it, you didn't already hit the skip forward or stop button after hearing me mention I saw it, then that's on you. I'm talking about it more now.
It's on. Do you know they have like trailers, like spots on TV now that are showing all the biggest things? Because their marketing is just different now. They're not marketing to people who don't want to know everything. They're marketing to people who want to see what's in the movie. To see all the epic stuff.
Well, if you're someone who didn't already like seek this movie out while avoiding all the spoilers, then you are someone who does not care about getting spoiled at this point, or at least not enough to like. It's been weeks. Like, anyways. Yeah. But I didn't even think about this. I was confused already before the movie by one of the Disney Plus shows, Vision and Scarlet Witch, because Vision's already dead. So I don't know how that's going to happen. And then you watch this movie, and when I first saw it, I was confused afterwards. I was like, wait, they're making a Black Widow movie. They haven't. I don't know that they've officially announced it, but it's definitely in the works. The casting stuff and everything has been all over the place by very reputable sites. But then I remember after this one, and I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. They're doing a fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier show on there, and I'm very confused about that one.
I don't understand why that one is particularly confusing.
Because the other ones, if they just make it a flashback or whatever, it's whatever, I guess. It's back when the Vision was alive. It's a way to have more the Vision. But Falcon is still around. He's just taken on the mantle of Captain America now. And if you but here's a show where he was still Falcon, that feels it feels deflating to me in a way that just doing a flashback about characters who are dead being alive again isn't. It's like it's like you're downgrading him again to me. It's like, well, this is what he should be. He should just still be Falcon.
I don't think that's the deal. I obviously don't know what this show is going to be, but I have an idea that it might be about Bucky and Sam. working together in a world that maybe he's not going to be Captain America because he doesn't feel comfortable with that title yet. Like, I believe all these are like six episode things. Like, they're not that long. So maybe it's about this journey of getting Falcon to the point where he's able to accept Captain America. We're just spending time with these characters. You know what I mean? Like, they're the people that are most related to each other now. So
yeah, if that's the way where I see it working, if they totally acknowledge it and they're just like, he's like, I need to like become worthy of being Captain America. And so and that's where it being with specific one, he and Bucky have a fun dynamic on screen, like that we saw in Civil War, but also, if it's like Cap's closest friend and also kind of the other person closest to being Cap after, Steve, like them kind of training together or like going on missions, like trying to like get him up to like, but yeah, I don't know. It does feel, even then it feels like a little bit of a tiny step back, just because like the implication at the end of, Endgame is like, you're ready now. But like, I don't know. It would still work. I think that would make sense. I hope that's what they do.
The way I see it, if they made a Captain America movie right now with Sam Wilson as Captain America, it'd feel a little weird. I think this show is going to do a lot of work in giving us more focus on both these characters so that it's both a character that's ready for a film and also in storyline, the person is ready to take on the mantle. I don't think it's stepped down. I think it's a natural evolution. Yeah.
My worry is that, like, what if, these shows tend to be, I mean, it does seem like they're throwing a lot of money behind these, so maybe they will be these big lavish productions and stuff, but I just really hope that it doesn't feel like a budget version of these characters and the kinds of stories they could be in, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, because then if it doesn't do great, like, it's just gonna, like, I feel like it'll just, him being Cap could just end up being kind of tossed to the side.
I can understand that, but I mean, I gotta think that they're gonna have money behind it, just because they're getting off a lot of people who are expensive, specifically Robert Downey Jr. So I don't know. That's
true.
It is Disney too, and I don't know. I feel like I have high hopes, but I understand what you're saying. Like, there's always a little fear that a TV show is not ever going to do it justice. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just very specifically excited about, like, in terms of all of the like ramifications of what could come next after Endgame. That's really the only like big tease that this movie had. So much else was just kind of very final, and that was the one bit that was just like, and here's something that could come next. And I'm very excited about it.
How about a second spoiler of Thor being in Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm excited for that shit.
That's also very exciting.
I'm so excited for that. I actually don't know what past that, honestly. I have no idea.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. The movie's still great, though. If you haven't seen it and you, for some reason, listened to all this, I highly recommend, please go see it so you can not get more spoiled for you.
Yeah. Did you see
it'll probably come up again with us.
Did you save for the end credits then again?
Not again. Why would I stay for that? I'm glad I knew it was there, but honestly, I don't think I needed to sit through it the first time. Anyways.
I feel you. Okay. Doug, do you want to jump on into news?
Sure.
It's Marvel Comics 1000. Asterisk.
Oh, God.
It's not Marvel Comics 1000. It's not at all. It's not at all. Fun. We don't get these sort of weird competition things between Marvel and DC. Like, I guess we do, but this is very blatant.
They do, but usually they're more subtle. They're about storylines or, like, I don't know, like specific types of villains or I don't know. It's more gimmicky kind of story stuff.
Yeah.
But this is so fucking blatant and dumb. And also, like, frustrating because it seems to have absolutely nothing to do with what is actually sounds like a pretty cool, like, 80th anniversary celebration thing.
Absolutely.
Why wasn't it just called that?
It's entirely more interesting than DC, both of DC's thousands, I think. Like, they're doing, like, I love Action Comics 1000. I love Detective Comics 1000. But, like, Marvel right here is doing something different and cool and original. Like, that's crazy. And they still fucking call it 1000. Like, what the fuck is wrong with them?
It's just, yeah, okay. So let's set up what this is.
Wait, sorry.
So
Go ahead.
Creative teams on social media this week were putting up teasers of just like it was the Marvel logo, it was a blue background, and then it was some horrible typography of their of like the names of these creative teams, and it was just like hundreds or not hundreds. It's an 80 page
it's
thing,
50.
so I guess it was, and it's what?
There were 50. They released 52 creators on that first day. 52
okay,
different
but then
teams.
there were more after that.
Oh yeah, there were 80 in all.
Yeah, was it exactly 80? Okay,
it's one for each page.
Yeah. So it was 80 creative teams, one for I don't know why I said hundreds, but it was that's what it felt like at the time. It was like, holy shit, they're not ending.
It's because you're like Marvel and you're trying to inflate your goddamn series.
It was just like, it was impossible to keep track of. I was just like, oh my God, there were like a bunch of really cool creative teams. There were a bunch of creative teams that were just like, okay, more Marvel people, and like a lot of returning people or people who don't normally do comics who are like really cool people. And eventually it turns out, as some sites kind of leaked / reported slightly ahead of time, that it was going to be, as it turned out, for Marvel Comics 1000, which is an 80-page giant celebration of Marvel's 80th anniversary, which is very cool, in which each page is done by a different creative team. Very cool. I assume there'll be one-page stories about different characters each, which is an interesting idea. Or they said it was like each page was a year in their history, at least, or takes place in the next year in their history, which is really fucking cool.
Absolutely.
But the number, the name Marvel Comics 1000 is so blatantly about nothing.
Yeah.
It's so clearly just a response to Detective Comics 1000 and Action Comics 1000. And it shouldn't bother me because it's just the name and it doesn't matter, but also it's so fucking stupid that I like have trouble thinking about this book without just thinking about how dumb it is that they named it that.
I know. Remember when Marvel made a huge deal about putting all their titles to legacy numbering and really taking into account like exactly where they were in there? Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, did they stop doing that because they got this idea suddenly?
I think, no, they still have the legacy numbers on them. They're just like, they're under the regular number. And much smaller. But yeah, it's just fucking weird. I'm looking at the New York Times article here that I think, I don't know if it broke it, but it's one of the big articles about this. They have some quotes. They asked like, what does the number 1000 mean? And they say, they're like, the original Marvel Comics was called Marvel Comics in the first issue. And then it changed its name twice, starting the second issue and then a later one, and then ended at 159. And then they did it. So like, there's nothing about Marvel Comics that is reaching any kind of landmark. And then also there's the number. They say Marvel wanted to give fans a tangible touch point for the 80th anniversary. And then the quote from Tom Brevoort says, more than anything, it was a symbolic thing. Like, it's just nothing. It's just completely fabricated. And it shouldn't bother me, but it bothers me so much.
It's funny because let's talk about it being a symbol. Okay, it's a symbol. The only reason that's a tangible symbol for anybody in the audience is because DC did this with those. Like, it's both like mocking it, but also like admitting the importance of it, but also gaining
it's this
something.
It's this weird thing where they're like trying to like keep up with the like, well, we also have 1000, like where they like they're like, we're just as important. We're just as long running, which one, no, you're not. But also that's fine. That doesn't make you lesser. You just, you've been around less long.
Yeah.
And also they achieved those numbers by going weekly for like a number of years. Both of those books. So it's so needless.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Come on, CB.
Whatever.
CB Sapolsky, step it up. Right? That's his decision, isn't it?
The book sounds cool, though. I'm gonna read it.
I'm super excited.
The name is the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So this won't be one of those that goes up on your wall? Actually, the cover looks amazing, though. Alex Ross painting the cover.
Yeah. It's a fucking Alex Ross cover that's like specific images of characters from, I think, all of their maybe not their either their first appearances or like the most famous images of them.
Yeah. Severe lack of Fantastic Four on there, though. They really don't like putting them on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is wrong with them?
Yeah. Like we've got the first drawing of Steve Rogers of Captain America, which has always been very goofy looking to me. We've got Grey Hulk. We've got like the images of the like more famous modern X-Men from their first appearance in Giant Size X-Men. It's cool. Thanos from the Infinity Gauntlet. But yeah, I'm very excited for this book. Maybe I will feel less frustrated about it once the book is amazing. Just like,
yeah,
fucking come on, guys, call it Marvel Comics 80th or something. That's what this is.
I know. Do we miss Human Torch, Jim Hammond, on the front cover?
Did we miss him? What do you mean?
Like, is he not on the cover?
He's in the comic book they're reading.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because they're reading Marvel Comics #1, I think.
Gotcha. Okay. What can you do? But yeah, so that's funny. It's more funny. It doesn't bother me like you, apparently, but it's just very funny.
It's going to bother me because I think it's a really cool thing. And like, what if I end up really liking this issue and it's always going to bother me. It's called this. Anyways, it's dumb.
Okay, let's move on. So on the DC side, not really DC, Vertigo.
It's DC. It's owned by DC.
Yeah. We have a new teaser from Damon Lindelof's Watchmen that's going to be on HBO, which is totally not Watchmen, but it's fun, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's weird because it's the messaging around this is the confusing bit because they're just calling it Watchmen, and they're not saying anything in any of the marketing about like it's a sequel or it's a follow up or anything. It's just Watchmen.
Yeah.
It's a Watchmen adaptation, as far as you know. But like, I've read articles where basically Damon Lindelof says like he again never says it's a sequel or never says it's a follow up. He says like the events of Watchmen happened in this, and you watch this and it's like this is a sequel to Watchmen.
Yeah,
it's like just a sequel. Why? Like, call it Watchmen : something. Call it Watchmen. I get why, but like at least message around it. At least tell people it's a sequel. It's a sequel.
I don't know, man. It's like Halloween this year, like the one that just came out. It's just Halloween. You know, it's not a sequel. It's just Halloween.
Yeah. But
I'm super excited though. This teaser just gave us like a sort of vibe, like off the show, and had the clock sort of symbol. Talking about symbols. The clock sort of symbolism like in there, and I'm interested. The thing I'm honestly most interested in this whole thing is seeing fucking Jeremy Irons playing old Ozymandias. That's the thing I'm so fucking excited to see.
I think that casting is like almost too spot on. Like it's perfect. Yeah. Like he's definitely old Ozymandias, 100%.
Yeah. Like it reminds me of did you ever see the third Die Hard movie where he's the bad guy in that movie?
Yes, I have.
See, I love that. I love just seeing him as a villain, and I feel like we haven't seen that in a long time. Like this sort of not mechanical, like
calculating.
That's what I'm talking about. And he just is so great at that specifically. Like if he had a German accent, I'd be fine in this show too. But yeah, that's the thing I'm way the most excited for. I'm also excited for like, I don't know, I guess just how Rorschach has been treated Like, we see in this trailer that he has some sort of cult surrounding him, which kind of makes sense because they kind of made him a martyr in a way. It's going to be really interesting.
He's going to be seen as a martyr to this what looks to be a violent religious cult of some kind.
Yeah,
who are all wearing Rorschach masks. I think that's fascinating. That as a thing where they're like releasing demand videos or whatever this looks like it is, and Ozymandias's involvement as the one like big original Watchmen character being in this. You have to assume at least a big plot point in this will be the secret getting out.
Oh yeah,
that because of Rorschach's journal, like that this cult is going to somehow be like, we are going to release the truth to the world, and Ozymandias wants to stop them.
Yeah,
you know,
I can see that for sure.
That feels like where it's going, but that's totally guesswork.
Yeah. I wonder if Damon Lindelof is finally going to understand how to write a final season.
Hey, he wasn't alone on that. There were other people with him, but his track record.
Well, because I
keep thinking it's worse than it is. I have heard very good things about The Leftovers.
Oh, did he write that?
Yeah, he wrote The Leftovers. He was involved in the Star Treks. He also wrote some other stuff like Prometheus and Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, Cowboys and Aliens. Do you remember watching that together? We watched the midnight showing of that movie.
Was there a reason we went and saw the midnight showing of Cowboy? It wasn't a midnight. I think it was just like a Thursday show.
I think it was a midnight. They didn't have Thursday showings at that point, Doug.
Why did we see that?
I don't know. I
was excited for it, but
I think there might have been a trailer for like the Dark Knight Rises before it or something like that.
There was something like that. There was like a Nolan trailer or something, or like an exclusive thing of some kind.
But also, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it did look really cool. That movie was not good.
No, not at all. But nonetheless, sorry. Damon Lindelof, though, yeah, I mean, whatever. He's a good writer. Like, I think he's great. Like, setting up, he's great at interesting you in a new world. He's great at building characters throughout. It's just sometimes, Lost, the last season. And then, I know you're not there yet, but he's getting a lot of hate for Game of Thrones right now, but he's not
involved in Game of Thrones. What are you talking about? Damon Lindelof?
Oh, I always get them mixed up. That's my fault. That's the two guys with the B names. What are the names? Benioff?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a different guy.
Yeah, no, I know. But I always get them because Benioff, Lindelof, you know what I mean?
Sure. Anyways, yeah, no, he didn't do that.
Sorry, never mind.
I keep thinking he's had a worse track record than he has had some stinkers in here, but he's also, I have heard very good things about The Leftovers.
Yeah.
So he has also had some good stuff.
Also, that whole thing,
Tomorrowland.
He released some sort of like essay about like his inspiration for Watchmen and how much he loves it. Like that really, really interested me. Like it just looks like he wants to put a lot of care into this. I would love to know Alan Moore's thoughts on this though.
Oh, I'm sure he hates it.
Yeah.
Alan Moore has never once liked a thing that anybody has done with his work.
But see, this isn't adapting it really. Like, it's just kind of like these.
That's why it's interesting.
I don't know. It's gonna be cool. Samantha was just asking me because sorry, this is kind of different, but it's still kind of related. She's just started reading, or she's gonna start reading V for Vendetta. And she asked me if Alan Moore hated that film version as well. And I didn't know anything because I wasn't really aware of that. But do you know anything about
I'm sure he did, but I don't know specifically.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Watchmen was specific because that one is specifically so heralded and so specific to like the medium of comic books kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he was not a fan.
What do you like better? V for Vendetta or Watchmen as an adaptation?
I would have years ago. I would have said Watchmen.
Really?
But I feel like some of my tastes in terms of Zack Snyder's stuff has kind of changed, and that's not just
you can't retroactively,
No, but I think it. Seeing his newer stuff has made me see a lot of the flaws in his newer stuff in his older stuff. You know, like stuff that I overlooked.
Okay.
You know, like things that I don't like about these new ones. I look back and I go, oh yeah, that's totally still in these older movies of his, and it bothers me more now because I'm more aware of it. And that's like, that feels unfair to the original work,
no,
but also it's
that.
my genuine reaction. You know, like it bothers me more now because I'm hyper aware of it.
Yeah, I get that.
The way he treats his female characters, the way he romanticizes and fetishizes violence in his movies in a way that like kind of goes against the spirit of Watchmen and the way violence is used in that. Anyways, I still think Watchmen is probably the best adaptation of the story of Watchmen we'll get.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. V for Vendetta is also just a very fun movie.
I think it's great. I mean, when's the last time you saw it, honestly? I haven't seen it forever.
Ago.
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
I just remember loving Hugo Weaving. I thought Natalie Portman was a very, actually very good. It was one of the first things I thought she was good in, honestly. Like, I didn't think anything of her because I think she had just done one prequel for Star Wars at that point, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I think it was V for Vendetta and then Black Swan that was oh shit, Natalie Portman. Yeah. Go.
Yeah. She's a very good actress. She just also does a lot of crap.
Yeah. What was that? Didn't she do one of those Friends with Benefits movies? I forgot which one it was.
I'm sure
I remember there were two that came out at the exact same time. And there was one with Justin Timberlake and there was one with Ashley. So sorry. It's riveting. We should talk about rom-coms more on this show.
Yeah, let's definitely get more of that in here.
Okay.
Anyways,
there was another teaser release, Doug. Or did you want to talk about Watchmen teaser again?
No, I was literally just scrubbing through this video and was going to point out more imagery, but I don't know. There's everybody's wearing masks. There's so many different, all the cops have masks now, and there's a guy with a weird shiny mask, and it's just there are a lot of characters with just different variations of faceless masks, which is interesting, and I'm curious what exactly that means, but
I don't know.
Anyways, I think the vibe looks interesting. I am definitely, I think, more interested in watching this, or at least more confident in watching this after this trailer than I was before seeing anything of it. So,
I mean, it's an HBO show. They're gonna. I always thought they're gonna have a lot going for it. I don't know. What was your hang up before?
I don't know. Just it's because of the messaging. I didn't know what to expect. I don't know. I couldn't tell if this was going to be a sort of reimagining of the original story in which I don't know. I couldn't. This feels much more seeing it. I'm okay, yes, this is just a story that's in the world of Watchmen that takes place after the events of Watchmen, and I feel more on top of what it is. Whereas before, I feel I was just very confused. I was I don't know what this thing is, and therefore I don't really know how to feel about it. So, did you hear about the characters, by the way, that are going to be featured in it? Characters from the original, or just names of characters in this one? If you don't know it, maybe I shouldn't tell you because it's very interesting. If it's about characters from the original one, I want to be surprised if I can avoid it. It's not about characters from the original one. I know I heard names of some of the new characters, and they don't make any sense to me, but they sound like weird vigilante names. Well, the characters that I'm thinking of are ones that you're familiar with. Oh, but they're not characters from the original? No. Okay, then I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. But okay, we're gonna let you be surprised. Hopefully, you don't look it up because I'm very excited. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. Okay. Anyways, so another teaser that we got was for Legion, and we're not gonna talk that much about it because honestly, a teaser for Legion is teasing everything about Lawrence of Arabia. You can't. It's so crazy and big. We're not gonna get that much. All we know is time travel is involved. And I'm super excited. I saw the first scene, I think, of the season 3 at WonderCon this year, and it featured this girl that is going to bring this time travel element to it, and I'm super pumped for it. It's just going to be a bonkers ass shit, motherfucking bullshit. I'm just so excited. It's going to be great. Just tie up his story, David's story, sort of thing. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Legion is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, show that's like currently on television. I mean, not currently on television, but like in terms of like shows that are still being made. It's just one of the most inventive, bonkers things on TV, and like gets some, like, puts on screen some of my favorite kind of things about superhero fiction.
Yeah.
Like really inventive, crazy powers, and like how those things intersect with how people live and interact with each other in ways that are specifically about how the powers would affect you. But because the powers are so inventive, it's so interesting. And then also just the filmmaking is fucking phenomenal. It's so good. Anyways, I'm so excited. There's a shot of Charles Xavier in this.
Patrick Stewart or no?
What now?
Patrick Stewart?
No. Of the person who is, I'm assuming, going to be in the past as young Charles Xavier.
Okay.
Is in this trailer. He's got Cerebro on. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was David.
No, it is not him if you look at it, and it is they already announced someone who is cast as young Charles Xavier, so
okay.
That is going to be directly addressed in this, I assume.
Oh god. It's so exciting. Yeah, I'm super excited for this new element. It's going to be, are you going to rewatch before this season comes out? I think I'm going to.
I'm going to try to get my fiance to watch it with me.
Did she not watch it?
She's never seen it, and I feel like some of the trippiness and horror stuff might get be a little too much for her, but I think she would really enjoy how fucking weird and surreal it is, because like we watch like Twin Peaks and all kinds of like weird surreal stuff like that.
Does she like Aubrey Plaza?
She does. She really likes Aubrey Plaza. So I'm going to try to get her to watch that before this new show. I keep forgetting about that. We should definitely start that sometime soon.
Yeah. It's going to be soon, isn't it? If they're releasing a teaser, it's got to be soon.
Otherwise, if she doesn't, I don't know that I'm going to do like a full rewatch. I guess they're shorter, but
they're like 8 each, I think. I'm not sure. But I'm also super excited because it looks like she's still like a big part of this, and is going to be. I don't know if she's evil. It didn't really look like she was evil. I don't know, actually.
No, because she became a separate character in this last season. She was like the person whose identity whose like form she had stolen. Because what's his name?
I thought she became David's sister, like her form, like she like stole her body.
Oh shoot! Did she?
Yeah,
man, I do need to rewatch it. I remember that scene. You're right.
Second season is like a dream, honestly. That shit is like really like first season is a lot easier to go along with than the second season. I love second season. Don't get me wrong, but it's crazy shit.
Yeah, the first season starts off really, really surreal in the very beginning, and then kind of goes like slowly kind of ramps down in terms of how weird it is, keeping still a good amount of weirdness in there, but like it's a lot easier to follow. But then the second season kind of brings it up a bit again, and then ramps up as the season goes along. It's so fucking crazy.
So you're saying Grant Morrison and Noah Hawley shouldn't do something together?
Oh, by the way, Noah Hawley's Doctor Doom movie is canceled.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, oh, damn it. Why? But that was a news story?
Well, it's probably canceled. They canceled a bunch of Fox stuff.
Okay.
Specifically, we know for sure they canceled Gambit. They probably canceled the X-Force movie. There were a bunch of other Fox Marvel things in the works, but that one was that was a probable was axed. Because they just released all the like Disney / Fox release dates, or at least a bunch of them for the next like few years. Damn. And it wasn't on there. So,
and as all these things get canceled, and we see them, specific team, the New Mutants said, "Not us."
Oh God, was that this week?
What?
The New Mutants thing, or did we? Is that since the last show?
Oh, wait, that was this week. Yeah, they got a date because they did all those release dates this week. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because it was on that release schedule. I fucking forgot about that. Yeah, it got pushed back to April of 2020 now.
2 years since the original one.
When was it originally slated to be released?
Wasn't it April 2018 or was it February 2018?
New Mutants original release date. The original release date was going to be, it was before this delay. It was August 2nd.
I knew that one.
It was supposed to be April 13th of 2018. They pushed it back to like early this year. And then they pushed it to February 22nd of this year. Then they pushed it to August 2nd of this year. Now it's been pushed to April of next year. Oh so God. Yeah, it will have been 2 years since this movie was supposed to release. That movie was done. That movie was like, I think like a month away from releasing.
Yeah.
It was like, maybe I'm overstating that, but like, it was close.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer is great. I love the trailer. I watched it the other day.
It looked cool. I was excited. And then this fucking movie disappeared. They still haven't done the reshoots as far as I know.
Yeah. What if they reshoot to introduce David from Legion in it?
Okay, I would be very excited about that. But
I mean, he would fit, honestly. He would totally fit.
Also, the Fox X-Men stuff is going nowhere, so, like, that would mean nothing. Like, it would be cool to see him in a movie, but, like, it's not like that would be the introduction of him into the larger X-Men universe or whatever, because those movies are gonna disappear.
Of course. I just think it'd be fun. I don't know. It'd be very, very fun. And he'd fit the MO, you know? The Mo.
He definitely, he would fit. They would have to do a lot of reshoots to make that work. Anyways.
Yeah. Whatevs. Okay. Well, that's about it. Do you have anything else to say?
No. I think.
Okay, so that's a good amount to it.
This is a thing that's nothing to do with news, but I just wanted to. I don't know where else to talk about it. I happened to look up Drax this week.
Oh.
Just like I was like curious, like, oh, what's the history of Drax? Because I don't know anything about Drax in comics.
Okay.
And so I looked up Drax, the Destroyer, the Guardians of the Galaxy character. And Drax, so Drax, in the movies, you have a pretty good idea of who he was. In the comics, that wasn't his original name, and he was from a different place. Can you guess like what where he might have been from, or like what his name might have been?
Should I be able to guess?
No, because his name was Arthur Douglas and he lived in California.
Wait.
He was a human man.
And he went to space or something, or what?
He died. And then someone put his consciousness in an artificial body that they named Drax the Destroyer.
The fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane. When was his introduction? Do you have it up?
Let me see if I can find this.
Arthur Douglas. What the?
Yes, Arthur Sampson Douglas is his full name. And he first appeared in Iron Man number 55 in 1973.
Holy shit.
But so Thanos came to Earth and killed a bunch of people, including his family. And so his backstory is more or less the same, you know, that Thanos killed his family and he's out for revenge, but he was a human man. And I think that is the most fucking bonkers difference between the comics and the movies I've ever seen.
God, what if he like turns out to be like that character?
Oh my god. Yeah, what if that's a reveal at some point? That Drax was a human man at some point and he just doesn't remember.
Like, he doesn't remember the human part, but he remembers, like, the specifics of his family dying, you know?
Yeah, it's fucking...
Jesus.
It's crazy.
That's so fucking crazy. I can't imagine that was... So that wasn't retconned or anything. Was that still, like, what Drax is in the comics?
I'm not sure if they retconned it.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
God, I hope not. That's awesome.
I'm willing to bet they just stopped referencing it.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
That makes sense. Jesus. Okay, I'm glad I know that. That's crazy.
Marvel tends to do less because DC does the big universe relaunch stuff.
Yeah.
Marvel tends to just kind of like, we're just gonna stop referencing this, and eventually maybe we'll just mention that it's different now. They do very soft kind of retcons. Generally, they're the exceptions, obviously, but okay.
Yeah. Well, shit. Arthur Sampson Douglas. All
right. Yeah, let's talk about some weekly comics.
Yeah, it's fun. Listen to those horns. Beautiful. That means we're going to be talking about some weekly comics right now. Huh. See what I did there, Doug? It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Those are live recordings, by the way, everyone. I know it sounds the same. We have a great band.
Yeah, the band, Jimmy and the Horns.
Band.
Yeah, Jimmy and the comics covered band is over here, and let me say thank you. We never thank them, but I mean they're very gracious for being trapped in my closet next to all my comic books every week until we let them out to play the horns.
We should have the live studio audience give them a round of applause. Hey, cool. That's good. Well, we both read books. It was a fun time. It was a smaller week, again, for me at least. Apparently not for Doug.
It was marginally smaller. I added a few things on last minute that made it a more reasonable week, but
what we call
still smaller than the last few weeks.
We call a game time decision from Doug.
You love that. You think that phrase is so funny.
I do. I don't know. I just feel like the idea of like being in the comic store and like, I don't know, like having all this stuff all around, like seeing all these covers everywhere. It's like, I'm in the game. Am I going to get this? Am I going to not? It's really exciting. I mean, it is kind of, but
everyone knows that I go into the comic shop every week in full football regalia. I got the helmet. I got the pads. I got, and I go in. And I grab the comics off the shelf and I kind of hunch down and hold it under my legs and I yell hut hut and I throw it behind me and it hits the wall and then the shopkeeper yells at me because he's like, "Stop that! Are you gonna buy that?"
No.
And I go, "Oh no, I'm dropping that. That's Justice League." And then he kicks me out and bans me.
Yeah,
that happens every week.
Every week.
So, what did we read this week?
So we both read books. And those books included Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 10, Detective Comics, number 1003, the actual 1,000. What if they start oh my god, this would be terrible. Sorry. What if they start a series starting at Marvel Comics 1001?
Fucking goddamn it. They start like, this one's so popular that they're like, we're going to keep doing this. And then, they number the next one 1001.
Oh my god. Sorry. Okay. Sorry to even put that idea in your head.
When Action and Detective reached 900, I believe it was, Deadpool did a special 900 oversized 900 issue special. And that was very funny.
Did you read it?
See, that's a case where it's like, that's a joke. That's just a joke. That's a character that fits with. It's funny. Like, of course he's going to jump on the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
I did not read that. No.
Oh, because that sounds like something I would want to read. That's awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's not like anything. Well, I mean, it's probably funny. You know what? Sorry. I need to keep reading these books, reading off these titles that we had. I just want to say, You Are Deadpool, one of the best. It's so great. You got to read it now that you.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that. I do want to see that. That seemed so fucking unique and cool.
It is really cool. If you want me, I can lend it to you when I'm in Minnesota next. But I would just get the trade. Honestly, it's going to read great.
I'm sure I can get a digital version. For pretty cheap. Would I lose something for getting it digitally at all, other than like the printout, the cutout dice? Because I'm not going to do that anyways.
Well, yeah. I mean, other than the fact that I feel like it's going to be a kind of a bitch to scroll through.
Oh, you're right, because you have to like flip around in it, don't you?
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I would see is weird, because like I don't know, it's a little easier to flip through the pages and it's more fun
without like looking at the other bits.
Yeah. I don't know if there's like a way to like, is there a way? Because I know there's one on DC Universe.
There is a way you can like open up like a scroll of all the pages without like actually scrolling through. You can open up like a table of contents thing and pick pages.
Okay, but also
so maybe I'll do it like that. I could probably do it like that.
But it also doesn't tell you the page number. It just tells you the panel number, and you have to kind of see which number.
Shoot.
You have to see which like number panel is on each page. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! Wow. Okay. Yeah, that does sound difficult.
You should just get the trade. It's worth it. It's great.
Okay.
It's one of those things that's like special. Like you don't get the comics like this all the time. It's one of those that you should have in your collection, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it does seem really cool. Also, that's the kind of thing that because it's kind of cool in how it's structured. I might want to just go back and pick up the single issues if I can.
Yeah, that too. Because that would be less annoying than the trade even. Because
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Nonetheless. We also had Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 6. By the way, I want to talk about that. Just adding a note for later.
Okay.
Ice Cream Man number 12. We had Invaders number 5 and Shazam number 5. Doug, you had about the same amount of books that you read by yourself.
Not that many. I had 5 other books on my own. I picked up my other recurring series, Captain America, number 10, and Captain Marvel, number 5.
Which I did not notice until, like, sitting down here that you were still reading. I had no idea.
Captain Marvel is fun. I'm always kind of on the fence because it's like, it's good, it's not amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, should I give this slot to another, like, a book that I'm more excited about? But it's fun. So I'm still reading it. I'll probably keep reading it. But we'll see. I'll see how this issue is. But anyways, have not read it yet. But I also picked up a few new series. I picked up one that you were aware of, Batman and the Outsiders. Number 1. And I also picked up as a game time decision. I got these digitally, and I knew you had already gone to the comic book shop when I got these, so I didn't mention them. But I also picked up a Black Crown book, Eve Stranger, and Excellence, which I believe is an Image book.
It's Image, yeah.
Okay. They were both good. I don't know if we want to like. Do you want me to give a quick word on those, or should we come back to them?
Well, I was saying, I like doing quick words before we get into real stuff. Because also we don't need spoilers for this stuff. I saw Excellence on the stands, and we were actually thinking about getting it because the art looks very, very cool. But when I looked up the solicit, it just doesn't really seem like a premise I'd be very interested in. So
the solicit is very vague, and I wouldn't even necessarily say that the premise. Like the world or anything, which is mostly what the solicit sets up, is super unique or interesting. It's more about how the story is told. And because I wasn't going to pick it up. I was like vaguely interested in it, but I had decided before the week came out that I was like, I think I'll skip it. But then I saw people on like comics reviewers on Twitter talking about how really good it is. So I picked it up, and it is very good. I very much enjoyed it. I'm going to keep reading it. It's like,
can you sell me?
It's like about a kind of a secret kind of. It's Harry Potter-esque in that it's like a secret world of wizards, but it's maybe even more like the Magic Order, where it's like, you know, like they're a secret order of wizards, adults, but they're it's about the son of this like long, like very prestigious line of wizard people, and he is like it took him a very long time to like manifest his powers, and he has to prove himself to his father, who is like one of the people in charge. And so it seems to be the writer working working through a lot of his like fatherhood issues. And it feels very personal. It's the writing, the how the story is told is the part that's like, is really,
okay. You keep saying that. Can you not sell me on how the story is told unless we go spoilers?
I don't really want to spoil it. So, if
I'm not intrigued. I'm not going to get it at this point if I don't get anything else.
I don't think that I'm going to say that it's like required reading, but I am definitely interested enough to keep reading. Eve Stranger was a good issue. Like, I have no problems with it.
Yeah, you have one issue with it, Doug.
I have one issue of it. I enjoyed it. It didn't like, I was gonna be like, oh, sure, I'll read another one. But then I liked Excellence more, and I was like, I don't need 2 new series, so I'm gonna go with Excellence. But
okay, excellent.
But Eve Stranger is good. I liked Excellence more though.
Okay.
And then Batman and the Outsiders is I felt like I was at about the same kind of place with it as I was with the Detective Comics story that introduced this team.
Okay.
Which is that like the character work is really interesting. The story's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it another issue and see if it turns it around at all for me. But like, I do really like how the characters are written. So okay. I think that's Brian Hill's strong point.
Well, there you go.
Anyways.
Yeah. Let's give a little, give a little spoiler warning. Do you want to do it, Doug? Come on.
No. This is a tradition. You do the spoiler warning.
Okay, here we go. I can't do it. Sorry. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, you kind of fell apart there.
Was it good for a little bit though, at least?
It sounded good for a little bit. It sounded like a horse.
Oh.
A little bit.
That's good. That's
like
good.
It would have only sounded better if you had some coconuts.
Okay, so it was nice. That's like what is it? Holy Grail reference, because we talked about that earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's your I guess that's your spoiler warning.
It is.
So, spoiler warning, we're going to talk about a couple of these books in detail.
We should actually figure out I should write a spoiler warning, just like we have music for the other stuff. Like, why not just have...
We should have a sound cue for the spoiler warning.
So easy.
And then we don't just make up a sound every week.
2-day in 30 minutes. I could probably do it for the show. Should I actually do that? So it plays right now? No, I don't know.
No, don't worry about it. We'll do it. Another episode.
Okay.
So, what do we want to talk about first, Jack?
I want to talk about Black Hammer.
Okay. Let's talk about Black Hammer, Age of Doom, number 10.
Yeah. Okay, so this book is great. I think Jeff Lemire surprises me all the goddamn time. I don't know why he's surprising me at this point. No, he's not surprising me. It's just fucking beautiful. Like this shit. Like, the way he has built these characters throughout the series, and the way,
can you set up at all? I mean, I know this is well into the series, but just in case someone isn't reading it.
Okay.
What kind of real basics, what's at least how we got to here in the series.
Okay. This series is about putting roadblocks in front of a superhero team so that they can't do superhero team stuff. Am I wrong?
Basically. I mean, it's about kind of pulling these kind of analogs of superhero characters that you will recognize, or not recognize sometimes. These analogs of classic superhero tropes, in weird situations that are where they're out of their element, basically.
Yeah.
The first long arc was they were in they had saved the world and were in this small town, and they could not escape the small town, and they were figuring out why are we in this town and how do we get out? And now they're out, but they've been put in this new scenario where basically they're in the city they lived in, but nobody, including them, knows that they are superheroes or that superheroes exist.
Yeah.
And so they're slowly Lucy Weber, the new Black Hammer, figured out that she used to be this person, Black Hammer, and is now kind of one by one, getting everybody in the group to remember who they are. And so that is kind of, this is the issue where that all comes to a head. In terms of this arc.
But I just want to say also, the special thing about this series is that I don't understand how he does it, but it's so satisfying because of specifically the character work. But when you think of it like a superhero book, like that's the character work is the only reason why it's satisfying. Like it's so unsatisfying plot wise. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the point of it. I don't think so.
It's just a very atypical way to use superheroes.
I guess so. Okay, what I'm saying is
if you're going to it for like, I want to read this book about superheroes, you're probably not going to get what you're looking for.
Yes.
But like the way these characters are used, how it uses these characters that fit with these classic superhero tropes.
Yeah.
Like it's so touching and well done, and you get so connected to these characters.
Absolutely. What I'm trying to say is that it's satisfying while still putting up all these roadblocks and delaying everything, where like you feel like it's coming to a head and it's going to be like, oh my God, they're going to kick ass or something like that. But that's not what the story is. And it's fine that it's not, you know?
Yeah, this arc is the one where, cause after that first arc and they got out of what was the town called?
Black. It was called Blackhammer Farm. I don't know what the town was called.
I don't remember what the town was called. But anyway, once they got out of the town, like figured out what the town was and they escaped, it was like, oh, what the fuck is this book going to be now? Are they just going to be superheroes? Cause it didn't end.
Yeah.
And so, and now we've done this, we're in this arc. It's like, oh, we're going to kind of keep doing that.
Yeah.
But it works though. It is about like continually putting these characters out of their element in different scenarios. And I wonder if that pattern is going to hold true, if they're going to like do that again in a different way.
I mean, it seems like at the end of this issue, like they're back. You know what I mean? Like for the first time, they're kind of all like in the real world. They're kind of all remembering, and they're just kind of like there. I mean, they have yet to. One of the specific things that I am like really interested in them addressing is the fact that Barbalian, our friend who is, since this sort of rewriting of the universe where no one knows what superheroes are and everything, he's stuck on Mars being, he's a gay man, gay Martian, sorry, and that's great. And but the other Martians do not like that, and they murdered like his partner and ruined their chances of leaving Mars. So, he just committed mass genocide and murdered everybody.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot that happened last issue. He killed all his people.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like Martian Manhunter, but if Martian Manhunter murdered his entire race.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited for them to address that. I'm sure that's coming back.
But also, like, again, what is this world again? Like, is this another simulation? Is this another, like, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm curious. I feel like the point at which these characters get back to, like, all right, we're in Spiral City, we're all superheroes again, we're gonna just live our lives, is, like, where this book is going to end. Yeah. I feel like that's the end point. And, like, I feel like we've got, like, but I also feel like this gimmick, this of kind of continually doing this thing to them, while it's still working now, I think it could only really survive maybe one more, if even, like, version of this thing, Yeah. Like another fake world for them to escape, or whatever the new kind of twist on that is. Because I did think this was an interesting kind of twist on that idea of them being kind of trapped in this kind of illusion, that this time they don't know who they are. This one was also much shorter than. Oh, yeah. Is this the second or third issue of this?
I don't know, but you have to remember that Age of Doom, they were on the farm just getting out at Age of Doom number 6 and 7. Yeah. So this is just 10. So 8, I believe, was when they started in the city, not remembering who they were. So 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. But because it's so fucking atypical, like, I'm saying that they could do this kind of thing again, but I have no fucking idea where this series is going to. It could go somewhere completely different.
Exactly. I remember when I was giving Age of Doom kind of shit on our best ofs thing because it was like meandering too much, but that's kind of like what it does. So
that's kind of what this book is. Well, because it's not really about the plot.
Yeah.
Like, the plot is there to facilitate the character work, and this book gives you moments like Golden Gail being reintroduced to Barbalian on Mars, and regaining her memory after having dementia, and it's That moment is so incredible.
What the fuck am I doing in a wheelchair? I wanted to say, like, I think Golden Gail, like, throughout this entire series, she's like my favorite character in current comics. Like, it's that moment of, and I wanted to talk about this a little later too. Like, there's this character, like, Golden Gail is this character that I feel like whenever she speaks, I'm so entertained. You know, no matter what, she could be being snarky, she could be being fucking asshole, she could be being like this heartfelt thing, like she was really developed in The Farm. Like, she's just the fucking best. And just so everyone...
She's a really good character.
She's amazing. Just so everyone knows, Golden Gail is like the opposite of Shazam. She's like, she was a normal lady, and then was she a kid at first, and then she just...
Originally, she was a kid who turned into a kid superhero, but the kid superhero part, the, like, Shazam part, never aged. Yes. So she got older as her human self and became an old woman. Yeah. And then would still, when she turned into a superhero, turn into Golden Gail, this little girl. And then got trapped as the little girl at a certain point. And now, I'm assuming, is, like, permanently trapped, basically, as Golden Gail in this, unless when they escape this reality, she's not dying anymore. But
I gotta think that if she says it again, she's gonna be like dead.
Assuming again, once they escape whatever this version of reality is, her other self is still like that. Because she wasn't like that in the other version. She was just old, and she couldn't do it because she was just stuck. Like, she couldn't turn back.
Yeah. But she's just like one of those characters that I just hang on every word, and I just want her like all the time. Like, I can't get too much of Golden Gail. She's the best.
It's such a fucking unique, like, character, like, dynamic too. Like, that she is this old person in a young person's body, but like, she's like, I don't know, which I guess that's been done before, but like, there's something about the particular iteration, the particular delivery on that idea in this book. Yeah. That's like, she's so fucking jaded and tired, and like, just like, she is your like sassy grandma, but she's, but it's coming out of the mouth of this little girl. And I don't know, that could be tired and like too tropey, but it works here.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that it's unique. It's just that it's like, it's delivered very well. No, the delivery is unique.
I mean, yeah. And that's just Jeff Lemire, man. He's just like, he's just wonderful with all these characters. And I'm so interested, like, at the end here, just so in case anybody forgot, near the beginning of this series, we learned that, Black Hammer, the original Black Hammer, was stuck on the farm with the other characters. And he was like, no, fuck this, I'm leaving. And then when he left, he was like disintegrated and died. So we have like had very little of the original Black Hammer. And at the end of this, Lucy Weber, the daughter of the original Black Hammer, gets, dematerialized and rematerialized in this place in space or something. And, Black Hammer's there. He's just chilling on a throne.
Yeah. He says, hello, Lucy, I've missed you. So, I don't know if that's part of this new, if he's somehow why they've been in this new reality or what's going on. But,
Samantha was telling me that she's concerned that she doesn't want Lucy Weber to fall into a position where she's not like the big boss lady anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't think she's going to stay the Black Hammer.
Yeah.
This is going to be like for a sequence or something. She's going to be able to talk to her dad.
I mean, do you think he's going to be evil? I have a feeling it's going to be some sort of manipulation.
No, I don't know if I would like that. I mean, I guess it's all in how it's executed, but like, I don't know that I would like that. I would much prefer, because this has all kind of been about this character trying to find her father.
Yeah. Like,
that was the impetus for her character in the beginning of this series, was like, I need to find where my father has gone. And then she gets there and he's dead. And so this is finally her being able to reconnect with him. And I think it would be much more satisfying if it was about just like giving her that final resolution of like, oh, now I actually get to have that final talk with my dad that I never got to have because he disappeared when I was a child.
Yeah. Kind of like the Talking with David stuff in Starman, in James Robinson's run of Starman.
Yeah, that definitely sprung to mind when I was talking about this. He also Black Hammer also seems to have taken charge of, I don't remember what their version of the weird like Asgard / New Gods thing that they set up for him early on in the series. Was that not in this book?
I forgot that.
I don't remember which one of the books it was. It's entirely possible it could have been in Sherlock Frankenstein. Because there was a bunch more of her in that.
Lucy Weber wasn't Sherlock Frankenstein?
Yeah. Yes, Sherlock Frankenstein is about Lucy Weber trying to find Sherlock Frankenstein.
Oh, shit. Damn.
If you didn't know that, that's another selling point, maybe, I guess.
That's crazy. I had no idea. I thought it was just about the dude, Sherlock Frankenstein, just like chilling.
It's about Lucy Weber knowing that Sherlock Frankenstein could know something that could lead her to her dad before she goes to Black Hammer Farm, and basically going through all of his old team members on the Legion of Evil. Frankenstein and the
Legion of Evil.
It is Legion of Evil. Okay. Yeah, her like tracking all of them down and trying to find him.
Damn.
Yeah. It's very cool. So I think it was in the core Black Hammer book. I don't remember, but he basically, they gave like the backstory of like who Black Hammer was at some point.
Yeah.
And it was like a weird amalgam of like, it was a weird amalgam of like Asgard / the Inhumans / the New Gods. And there was like a Highfather / Odin character who like gave him his powers. And he would always disappear into space to do adventures with them. I feel like you read that.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm definitely going to reread Black Hammer all the way through at some point soon because shit is so good and I need to like have it in my life all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I this series can't go away. They have to do, I feel like they kind of have to do some book about all these characters in some form because this is kind of like what Black Hammer is. Everything else is kind of a spin-off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
At this point, I don't know. Like, this book just continues to be amazing. And specifically Dean Ormston being colored by Dave Stewart is some of the best shit I've ever fucking seen. I love that shit. It's so good for story.
It's so perfect for what this book is. And I'm so excited when this story is eventually over. Like, I think this is one of the great, like, non-Big Two superhero books that you could just hand, like, here's Black Hammer.
Yeah.
Someday there'll be a complete core Black Hammer thing or something. And you'll be able to just hand that to a person and be like, or like 2 volumes or something, you know?
One thing that will be lost on those people. One thing that will be lost on those people, though, is the references that I think make it so much better.
Yeah, I mean, if you like are totally immersed in that stuff, but like,
but you're right.
I don't think it's dependent on that, you knowing that stuff, though.
It's not necessary.
You do miss the references, but I don't think the book is good because of the references.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. No, for sure. But yeah, amazing stuff. So let's talk about a different book. Invaders by Chip Zdarsky, Carlos Magno, and Butch Guice. Which, by the way, Butch Guice, that flashback art, some of my favorite shit. I want everything Butch Guice. I want it right now.
He is the. I've always been a little unclear because they don't put like page numbers on these. Is he the flashback stuff?
Yes, from what I've heard, he is the flashback stuff specifically.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I think both of them are excellent. I'm a big fan.
Sorry, I'm not trying to say like the rest of it isn't amazing. I just specifically want like an entire 12-issue series about the invaders doing World War II shit with Butch Guice arting. I said arting. Shut up. He's arting. Fucking Chip Zdarsky's writing. So there we go. That's what I want.
I for some reason, I do think it really fits the flashback stuff, but for some reason I like the Carlo Magno stuff more, but really? It also fits the modern day stuff a lot more. So I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, it's not a competition.
Yes, it is.
But so this series is reaching a kind of climax conclusion. Not conclusion. We're heading into what feels like the
The end game?
Conclusion. God damn it. I'm trying not to say it anymore. Do you think that I feel like it's impossible for me to say the word endgame anymore without some level of irony. Like, I can't say it.
I understand. There's gonna be a point at which honestly, I've never used that term before this movie. So I feel like it's just in my vocabulary now. And yes, it's because of that I'm going to think about that every single time.
Yeah. Anyways, Namor has gone crazy, attacking the surface world. He has a hallucination of a dead friend of his from World War II. Tommy Machan. Who he's imagining as his advisor in Atlantis. Mm-hmm. And he's lost his shit, and he's attacking the surface world, he's trying to frame them by, making it look as if the surface world has attacked first. Yeah. By firing missiles. He has, a spy in the, who was like a friend of a family who saved him at one point in the Navy. So Captain America and, the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond, and Bucky are trying to stop him. And, boy, does it just go south on them in this. God, it's just, I feel like this is, it's been the point. Like, they've had this faith in Namor that he's not actually evil. I mean, he isn't. He's not evil. He's sick, which I guess is the reason for a lot of people in, being villains. But, they were friends with him, best friends throughout the war. And just this entire time, they've been giving him chance after chance. Like, Namor, come on, we gotta really work on your anger, buddy. I mean, that's the story of Namor in the broad sense, is everybody always being come on, you can be a good person, and occasionally him rising above and being like, yes, I can. Yeah. But also then always diving back into being losing control and becoming a bad guy.
And this series has been a great snapshot of that. It's just been this mystery of figuring out okay, we have to figure out what Namor's past was, and we did Jesus. The last issue was the entire issue was his past, right? With Charles Xavier and everything. Yep. That was some great stuff. I also heard that they haven't really gone over much of that. There's a missing sort of area of Namor's history that apparently in Marvel they haven't really referenced. So this kind of acts as that sort of real world stuff, and it's very satisfying in a way. I didn't know anything about Namor before this series really, and I just feel like he's one of my even favorite characters going through Marvel at this point. It's really, really amazing. And just this issue, he is just nuts, man.
Yeah. It feels as if it's a kind of in the same way that this issue is a kind of climax of this series, it feels like this is the fever pitch of the story of Namor being the character who everybody wants to save, but always makes that villain turn. This feels like this is the last straw. Yeah. This is the story. This story is the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of these characters still holding on to hope that Namor can be good, and him kind of proving once and for all, no, I'm beyond saving.
Well, yeah, because in the middle of this issue, this entire series, or even before that in Avengers, Captain America has been holding off the Avengers, been dude, please just let me figure this out. And, him, Jim Hammond, and Bucky have been trying to figure it out, trying to get Namor. They're the last defense of Namor. In the Avengers want to take him down. But he's no. But then we got this issue, and Namor, still can't do it. And Steve's finally just, okay. He calls Iron Man. He's dude, we gotta fucking deal with Namor now. So, yeah, it's just.
And that's kind of the thing is that's the big kind of, that's their ultimate downfall, is that they thought that because of their faith in Namor, they could handle this quietly and convince him to change his ways. Yeah. And it's finally Cap realizing much too late that no, we need to come down hard on this guy. And fucking, I love the sequence when he's fucking on the phone with the Avengers, like trying to like coordinate them.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony just busts in on the call and he's like, I fucking told you. He doesn't say that. He said, I told you, Steve. I told you, and you still had to go and play naive peacemaker with a crazy man who time and time again threatens our world. And then Cap just changes the channel to talk to someone else, which like there, you could read that at a number of different levels. But I love it as just like him being like, fuck off, Tony. Like, we gotta, but also like him just being like, this is business. I don't have time for you to like be on your soapbox right now.
Yeah.
Like, we have shit to do, but also like him being like, fuck off. I love that. It's a great encapsulation of kind of their dynamic. Yeah,
no, absolutely. It's just, I just am so happy that Chip Zdarsky has shown so much, like, even after reading the first few issues of Marvel 2-in-1, like, that are great, it's just, he's come so far in writing this Daredevil, and just like his flexibility as a writer just seems like it knows no bounds at this point. Like, it's just been so satisfying, and it seems to be coming to this satisfying conclusion too, which is one of the hardest parts in Big Mysteries that he's set up at the beginning of the 6-issue mini, by the way. It feels like we've gone so far. Like,
what issue number is this? Sorry, 5?
This is 5.
Okay, so there's one more?
One more.
I think that this last one, I mean, where it leaves it, it'll have to be more action at the beginning of the next issue, but it definitely needs, like, the back half to slow down again and give us that, like, real resolution.
You mean fucking like, huge-ass
where they stand with Namor.
Explosions from missiles? Yeah. God damn, they fucking failed.
One thing that, that's the big cliffhanger at the end of this, is that, like, Namor fucking actually, like, they think they have a handle on, like, we're going to stop these missiles. And Namor's like, you have no idea where our missiles are. And he fucking shoots his missiles from a place they don't expect. And they explode. They blow up what looks to be a city.
Jesus, I didn't even notice Jim Hammond's head being off, like, in this second to last page.
I saw his head on that page and I was like, wait a second, when did he get beheaded? And then I went back a little bit and you totally see Namor knock his head off.
Oh my God.
Earlier, and I totally missed it. That could have
been a little clearer, but yeah, that's damn.
Yeah, because he's holding it in another panel, when it's on fire. Anyways, one thing that I can't decide if I like it or not, that I've really come to be very hyper aware of in Chip Zdarsky's recent work is, so he has moved into this more dramatic space where he's working with these bigger characters. But it seems like Chip Zdarsky has this very hard switch in his brain where he's like, I'm writing a funny book or there's no humor whatsoever. In which like most people, like, when they're writing a big, like, blockbustery book like this, like, they'll at least have some moments of levity. Like, that moment with Tony is honestly one of the few moments in this entire series where it even borders on that.
Yeah.
But it's even still pretty serious.
Yeah.
You can totally not even read that as a joke. But, like, I kind of because, like, it's the only book that I've seen from him that kind of bridges that gap a bit was Marvel 2-in-1. But everything since then that he's done in terms of the big Marvel stuff has pretty much been, like, completely serious.
I feel like in the beginnings of this series, when, like, Captain America and Bucky are, like, meeting up and stuff, there's, like, it's not levity, but it's like they're friends coming together and, like, saying, like, being friendly with each other and stuff. Like, it's not, I don't know.
I'm not saying that it's all doom and gloom, and that's why I think it still works. It's just, it's just something that I think is really interesting, that he makes that hard pivot when he does this kind of stuff.
It could turn
because
into
he's
a negative.
still, it could. Like, I don't know. And I kind of do miss it a little bit, because I do think he is really good at naturally integrating levity into his stuff, like moments of comedic relief that don't distract from the drama.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a weakness yet, but it is something that I am like, I don't know. I wonder if there's going to be a kind of, like, meeting of the two, or at least a little bit more of a reintroduction of his comedic side into some of this type of material at some point.
Yeah.
Or over time. But maybe not. Maybe that's just how his brain works. He's like, I'm in dramatic story mode or I'm in funny land mode, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think it's a really interesting observation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can understand that for sure. I mean, it's also just been the kind of story, like Daredevil, you know, where he's at right now, like that's not going to have levity at all. This kind of story that's happening right here is, I mean, it makes sense that there's not a lot happening, but this is almost done. Like maybe, I don't know if he's announced even a new series because he's only going to be having Daredevil after this, right? I don't think he's writing anything else. I mean, he shows up. I know he shows up every once in a while, like guest-wise. But
yeah, I don't know that he has. I feel like we're due for whatever his next series is after when this ends.
Yeah.
Pretty soon here. Yeah, because the only thing recently I can think of is that he's doing one of those pages in Marvel Comics 1000. But he's got to have more that he's doing.
Yeah,
I mean, like, because he's writing the core Daredevil book, but also, like, he can do more than that. You know,
absolutely.
he's done a lot of books at once before. So I don't know.
But yeah, so well, I mean, that's something to keep in mind in the future for Chip Zdarsky. But yeah, as of now, like, I'm into reading anything he puts out for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm at a point with him, like, I don't know that I've ever read anything that he's worked on outside of the big two, or outside of Marvel even.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he's ever done anything at DC. But like, I don't think I've ever tried anything from him outside of Marvel. But I'm pretty much at a point where, like, if you announce a new Chip Zdarsky book, I'm probably going to at least try it.
Yeah.
Because I at a surprisingly fast pace, I have become, like, I have a lot of faith in his ability to tell a story.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, what should we go on into?
You had one more thing that you wanted to at least mention, I feel like.
Oh, I have I have like 3 more things. Okay, short though. Okay, here we go. First of all, Ice Cream Man in Space is amazing.
Okay. It was pretty good. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I liked it.
Okay. I don't know. I just really liked that they were able to do an entirely different kind of story. Like, going into this book, at the beginning of it, would you ever imagine that they would do a space issue? Like, I just think integrating, like, space horror into this series was a different way to go, and I think just amazing. I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed it, and showed the flexibility of this concept, you know?
Yeah. That's something about the delivery in this one didn't hit me quite as hard as a lot of the recent ones have.
Okay.
But I did think it was cool that they went there. It's very Alien / Stanley Kubrick-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I like space spiders.
Space spiders.
Not
okay. Good. I don't want to ever see a space spider.
Oh god.
They look like the Xenomorph heads, but with legs on them.
Well, yeah, I think that the reason they did is because, you know, Alien. But yeah, so that's about it. That's about it. That was the short one. So, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I want to talk about, first of all, the fact that Tom Taylor writes this series and Deceased, that it's the same motherfucker, is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that guy is crazy. Crazy good. So, this issue, I kind of heard that people were saying, oh god, this is one of the best issues of this. I love this stuff. It's so great. He's so good at this. But I didn't know anything specific about it. And, you know, from the front, I'm like, okay, I didn't really notice the introducing. So when I started reading it, I was like, okay, so this little kid thing is probably some old character from back in the day, like some weird, like, you know, powerful kid that helps out Spider-Man every once in a while. I don't know why I thought that. I just thought that. So I was like reading this along. I was like, okay, this is good.
Like a bat mite or something, you know?
Exactly that. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, I'm reading this along. I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is fun. Like, it's not nothing special. Like, I don't know why everybody was going all crazy about it. Like, whatever. And, I'm reading. It's getting a little better as we get into, like, this big shot of the Sinister 60, which I kind of liked. Yeah. It was fun. And this whole next page where it's these little panels of them doing little moments in the fight, I thought was really, really awesome.
It's really cool.
Just a really fun, like, scene. I heard there was a little Mysterio gimmick that people liked, but I didn't really notice it. I kind of want to read this again. Nonetheless.
Mysterio gimmick.
What was it? He throws cards at him. There's smoke. I didn't notice about it, but
not sure.
Whatever. I liked this page. It was really nice. And then, after that, I was like, oh, it's Stilt Man. This is really random. What the fuck is going on here? Like, I remember learning about Stilt Man on the show. That was fun. Yeah. But then, like,
yeah, it turns out the ultimate villain of this story behind the Sinister 60 is Stilt Man.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's like, Stilt Man?
Yeah. But then when we turn the page and we, like, have them, like, after the whole conflict, sitting on the roof, whatever, I don't give a shit. And he shows him what's in the box. Like, I kind of knew, like, okay, so this is something else that's going on.
Yeah, well, because the page before, the city turns into a cardboard city, and, like, it starts to become clear, okay, this isn't really happening.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. Holy shit.
You didn't? Yeah, no, it turns into cardboard boxes.
I just saw that. That's so cool.
And then he crashes into it and crushes one of the boxes.
Oh, that's really, really great. That's such a nice touch. Huh.
Yeah, and then they're sitting on this cardboard skyscraper on the next page.
Wow. But then it, like, sort of, they reveal everything and it hits you. It's just like, oh, wow. Like, holy shit. Like, I don't know. Yeah. There's a moment in here I don't know. By the time I got to the end of this book, I literally started to tear up because it's just like, I don't know. It's not even that I have, like, this specific personal connection to anything, like, but it's just, it makes you have a connection with it because of how real it feels, how good he is, and how like much of an impact Spider-Man has, like, on
it's about, like, the power of that superheroes can have for children.
Yeah.
For those who feel weak, who need that kind of, like, uplifting, optimistic kind of energy in their life. So the reveal here is that this kid sidekick that he has throughout the issue, Spider Bite, it's basically been like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of thing, where Spider-Man has come and they have, like, reenacted with this kid's family and doctors and stuff, like hospital staff, this, like, Spider-Man adventure that is this, like, child's dream that he like made up. And so he's like, all right, that was really fun. I gotta go now. And the kid gets very upset because, like, he's, according to his parents, he doesn't want to go to sleep because he's afraid he won't wake up again.
Well, not according to his parents. Like, he says, like, I don't want to, like, he yells. Did you just say that? I don't know.
I'm saying, like, his parents are saying that's why he doesn't want to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, he yells that he doesn't want to go to sleep. But, and then he feels bad and Spider-Man. Anyways. So eventually, like, Spider-Man, takes the kid to go swinging with him, and that's the end of the issue.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to give this kid one last... He's like, we're not going to do the fake version of this. Mm-hmm. You're going to actually go swinging with me.
Well,
it's such a fucking... Like, the bit before that, I was like, I got it, but it didn't, like, get me like that. That last page, I kind of got me misty-eyed.
Yeah, it's just like... And also when you remember, like, Peter Parker's experience right now with Aunt May, like, it's just...
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just like, and I see it in this, like, panel where you see Spider-Man through the window with the parents and the kid with, I guess, a pretty obvious frown looking at the Spider-Man mask. It's just like, Tom Taylor, like, just turns it around. Like, basically with my whole recap at the beginning of this sort of thing, I just was not ready to, like, imagine how great this issue is. Like, it just turns around in, like, a split second, and it's kind of like, just, you have this moment of levity for this kid, this happiness, and then in a second it's just reality comes crashing in, and then we have, like, a couple pages of reality, just like, and the climax of it being this kid, tantruming, not wanting to go to bed because he knows he's gone almost. But then Tom Taylor turns around again, and it's like, we can make reality great as well. And you turn the page and this kid is swinging with Spider-Man with birds and the sun setting. He's just happy. And it's just beautiful, I think. Like it's
yeah.
It's
really, really touching. It doesn't, other than the like kind of broad kind of connection and ideas to the stuff with Aunt May, which they don't directly touch on here at all.
No.
Like other than that, like it doesn't really have much to do with. It's just kind of a one-off little story.
Definitely.
But it's such a nice kind of. It fits so well into kind of what this specific series is trying to do with Spider-Man in terms of like the power he has in his community to make a difference.
Yeah. Like speaking of things you can give to people just as an issue, I could give this to someone I feel like and just say, just read this.
Absolutely.
This is what Spider-Man is about, you know?
Yeah. It's great. And it's interesting. There was this issue of Superman of Tomasi and Peter Tomasi's Superman run. I think it had Chris Burnham on it. That was a very similar kind of idea where they brought a bunch of sick kids up to. I think they were sick. Anyways, they brought a bunch of kids up to the Justice League Watchtower, and like where it was like a special thing for these kids. That was very touching, but like. It was also, I don't know, kind of melodramatic in a way that this isn't. And I think this, it's just, I'm not like putting that issue down, but like, it's just, I think it's a mark that like Tom Taylor really knows how to execute on something like this.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to toe that line of, without it getting very soap opera-y.
Absolutely.
You know? Like, it feels very genuine and heartfelt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, that's what I want to say about that one. I know that was a little longer than I anticipated, but it's just can't get over it. Can't get over it.
Tiny note. The preview for the next, not preview, but the like next issue, the cover for the cover for the next issue that they have at the end of this has Prowler on it, and I know that Prowler doesn't have much to do with Peter Parker. He has more of a thing, or at least the modern version of Prowler has more to do with Miles Morales. Yeah. But after Spider-Verse, I am all ready for a Prowler renaissance. He was so fucking cool in that movie.
Oh yeah.
He's so good.
They didn't even have him in that much. Like
No, but his scenes are even before you like the twist, like his scenes are super good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like I think honestly a lot of it has to do with the music in his scenes. Like the score in his scenes in that movie is so good.
There's this like disjointed like gung, 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 gung kind of thing. Like I don't know.
It's the like like siren noises that they have in his scenes that they don't have anywhere else in the movie.
Because I think that comes off of his motorcycle, doesn't it? Isn't that the idea?
They definitely like sync it up to like stuff to do with his motorcycle and stuff. I don't know. So his scenes in that movie, they make him feel fucking intense.
Yeah.
Like he is the most threatening character in that movie.
Absolutely.
In a way, like he's terrifying when he's chasing Spider-Man. They're really good sequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for more Prowler, please.
Yeah.
In the comics.
Totally down.
We'll see. Anyway, small thing.
Yeah, I got you. I just wanted to get a little word on Detective Comics, just because after last issue, after the first, 1001 and 1000, I was like, okay, like this is fine. It's going to be a real like game time decision. No, not a game time decision. It's going to take this issue, 1003, to really make sure that whether I'm going to stay on or not, I'm totally staying on. This shit, fucking was exactly what I want from this kind of like. I think it really boils down to seeing Bruce Wayne and his son Damian working together. Like that's
exactly.
I need that this entire time. It's perfect.
I really, really hope that that's not a one-off thing for this arc.
Yeah.
I really hope that that's what Tomasi's Detective Comics is going to be, because because before this book, for a while, we haven't had a book where it's Batman and Robin. We haven't had a book that heavily featured the two of them working together, because all the Batman books is just Batman and Robin will show up. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that's not what this is, because you probably didn't know this, but Peter Tomasi, he has previously written Batman and Robin a number of years back. Like,
was Bruce Wayne and Damian?
Yes, with Bruce Wayne and Damian after Bruce Wayne came back.
Okay.
And like it's a really good run. And he is one of the few people who writes a good Damian. Like, I think honestly, most people miss the mark on how to write Damian well.
Yeah.
They just all they do is they just make him an asshole, and it's just like, haha, look how funny, how much of a dick he is.
Well, even
that's like,
even
but
Samantha,
you're missing so much of the potential of the character. Like, yeah, he can be a dick, but like that's not all he is.
Yeah,
and I think Tomasi really gets that.
Absolutely. Like, even with Samantha, like, she hasn't read that much with Damian Wayne at all, but after, like, the last couple issues and comparing that, like, we were on the same, like, road, like, you know, this is fine. And she was just like, yeah, Damian's kind of like, just like, whatever. Like, he's just kind of doing stuff. But, and even she, with this one, is like, yeah, give me more of that shit. Like, that, because this is their characters playing off of each other, and just their interactions are just so, just perfect, and they just feel like the perfect, like, idea of a father and son, where they're just kind of like, there's this kind of tainted relationship, but not enough to be like it's all out in the open. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some tension there that's just enough to be like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Like, it's just perfect the way he has it on here, and them working together is just so like fulfilling to me.
Yeah, I think that is what makes this series. And if they drop that after this arc, like if it just goes back to being a Batman book, then I don't know that I care, because this is this is the core of this book at the moment to me. Like, I'm going to continue reading this because I want more of this version of Bruce and Damian working together, because it's really compelling. I don't really care all that much about this Arkham Knight stuff anymore. I mean, but I am it's vaguely interesting. I'm curious to see where it's going to go.
I do like that it wasn't some alternate reality version of someone, or some future version, or some random evil version. Like, I love, like, it's just this girl that we don't know anything about that we're going to have to build up. And Damian's just like, even without the helmet, I still don't know who the hell you are, and I really don't care.
I like the kind of connections into the
Arkham, like
the world that he is. I'm assuming the daughter of Jeremiah Arkham.
Yeah.
So there's a tie into like the reason why she's the Arkham Knight and all that. So I think that's cool. But honestly, I'm mostly invested in this book now because I really like how Peter Tomasi writes Bruce and Damian. Also, I mean, the art's also great. I'm a big fan of this art. Like, I know I was like saying like Doug Mahnke is such a big part of like why I liked it at first, but yeah, this guy, like, even with panel structure, he's been doing really, really well. Like how each page is organized. I've been really a big fan of like the big, like, they've had this a lot where there's a big like kind of a splash thing, but then the other panels are kind of going off to the side. Like, I'm looking at like the second page right now. Like, it seems like it was kind of like that in the first one, where there was a big thing at the bottom and there were panels at the top. I've been a really big fan of this art too, for sure. It's very dynamic. I think it really, and I think it especially works really well with it being a Batman and Robin book. And
Dr. Phosphorus looks sick too.
I'm a broken record right now, but there better be more Damian.
I just want it, because I don't think you heard me. Dr. Phosphorus looks awesome too.
Oh, I thought about that as I was reading this. I was like, oh, he knows who Dr. Phosphorus is now because of Starman.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Wait, I don't know if I got to Starman, him and Starman.
He's in the early bits of that.
Really? I mean, that was a long time ago too.
But like Nuclear Skeleton Man. Okay. You've definitely gotten to him.
Probably.
Where do you know him from? Or you just saw his name in this?
No, I think I've seen Dr. Phosphorus in other things before. Like, I just kind of chilling around. Like, he just looks cool, but I just thought he looks really, really cool here. I don't know. He's a fun character. I'm
going to look up when Dr. Phosphorus is in Starman after the show. But anyways,
okay, for sure. That's fine.
But yeah, I am happy that it is, it kind of reaffirms my feeling after reading this. I was curious how you felt about this.
Oh yeah.
Cause I also very much felt like a big uptick in my interest.
Oh yeah. Immediately after reading, I was like, okay, well, I'm reading the next one then. I'm reading this.
Yeah. I'm sticking through this for this arc.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a quick question. I know you didn't read it yet. But Captain Marvel, are they still in the bubble, like in the little thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They're mounting their big resistance against the villain who trapped them there.
Okay. Is it still... Okay. This is still about my hangups about making equality a gimmick. But I'm not going to go that much because I liked that book and I wanted to read it so badly. There's a lot of heavy-handed stuff about like with the nuclear guy, like, oh, you're all women and you're all weaker than me. But they're like, no, we're not. And they beat the shit out of him because fuck him. And I totally for that. But is it still like pretty heavy-handed in that sort of realm?
I mean, it is. I mean, the story is all around this guy being a like
misogynistic asshole.
Yeah, well, like him being a like insane misogynist.
Yeah,
like that he's a crazy like revolutionary misogynist in that he like wants to upturn the world and make women his slaves or whatever.
Boy.
But yeah, no, he's. I think it works because it's about how his character is like that. There is like, they have, like, it's not all that.
Okay.
He has like all of the men in his camp and they have all the women who've escaped him. But like they have a guy who like, they're not sure if they can trust, but he seems to be on their side, who wants to like help them take him down. Like it's more complicated than just men are bad.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know that it's going to change your mind on it.
Yeah.
Because of how you kind of generally feel about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think it's being done. I think it's being done well.
Okay. How's Jennifer Walters being written?
She's cool. She's not in a ton of it. Okay. And it's one of the slightly frustrating things about this book is that most of the characters are depowered in this apocalypse kind of world. So like you're not really getting, it's not She-Hulk. It's just Jennifer Walters.
Okay. But she's not even like, they're not building her character. Like she's not like.
No, like the character work is good. And that's one of the good things about the book.
Yeah.
But like it's not much of a superhero book, which is fine.
Yeah. Like
we just talked about Black Hammer and how like you can use superheroes in other ways.
Absolutely.
But like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like blown away by the series, but I think it's good. I think it's doing cool things with its premise and its characters. I'm gonna probably keep reading it for the like relatively near future.
Yeah.
But, if like the next, I'm probably gonna finish this arc just because I'm so far into it.
Yeah.
If the next one, I'm looking forward to them being back on normal Earth, I think, and I hope that the next arc is also interesting.
I mean, honestly, I might want to get back there. Just like, I don't know, just see like what the next arc is. Cause I really want to read it. Like I really want to.
I think it was a weird decision to go right into this like depowered apocalypse version of the thing.
Like set me up.
She's been around. This is just my first time jumping onto a Captain Marvel book. But, so like, that's maybe more on me, but like, I think it's weird for a number one to jump right into a story like that.
Exactly. It's a number one. You gotta set me up for what this specific, even if you've done work with the character before, set me up for what this series is going to be for your version of this character, before you give me this crazy, like, I don't know. Yeah. So I may even jump on, like, let me know when this arc ends and I might even jump on and get that issue just to see.
I think, depending on what happens at the end of this, I'm sure I could probably even summarize kind of if there was anything important that you missed or anything.
Yeah.
But, I'm more excited for it to get back to that than anything.
Okay.
Because that first issue was really good.
Yeah.
Where it was just kind of her getting back to life on Earth.
I very much enjoyed it.
More of that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Got me to read the second one, definitely. Okay. I mean, that's all I got.
Cool.
Is Captain America still in jail, by the way?
They're trying to break him out now.
Makes sense.
They're in the process of breaking him out. I have not gotten to this issue yet, so I don't know if they actually get him out, but
okay.
He's still in jail. It's cool. It always ends up being, I always end up not having read it on the show just because we have a lot of shared books now.
Yeah.
So I always have to read those first.
I know.
But I do really like what they're doing with like, he's in there with all of the like people he's put away and like, they're addressing Hydra Cap, the alternate version of Captain America, in ways that like other books have pretty much mostly ignored since that event, in some interesting ways. So it's cool.
Okay. Well, speaking of having a lot of shared books with each other, next week we have 9 shared books. And I have 4 on top of that. So the world just said, fuck my wallet. Oh God. It's been 2 weeks and I've had 6 books each week and it's been kind of nice, but whatever. All of these books I'm fucking pumped for. So, should I list them off? Should I do it or do you want to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do each one in rhyme. I'm going to figure out which ones rhyme with each other. No, I'm not going to do that. We got Daredevil number 5. Another one by Chip Zdarsky. Excited. Farmhand number 7. God, love that book. I'm so excited to see where that goes. I hope that goes
it's getting crazy.
It's not so but so. We have Gideon Falls number 13. Just
okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy number 5. I'm really interested to see if that starts. I don't know. That's been a little underwhelming, I gotta say. Are you there?
Yeah. Wait, which book? Sorry.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I've liked it. I don't know. I guess it's the beginning. I just feel like I want it more.
I've really been enjoying it. I do kind of feel what you're feeling, but maybe not quite as much. I don't know.
It's not a lot. When I'm reading it, I'm very happy and it's awesome. I just feel like I don't get a lot with each issue, and
I think it will compound as time goes on, as because again, all the characters have been kind of thrown together.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of spotlight.
So I think we need time to allow those new connections to kind of solidify and create those new dynamics and stuff. I think it is going to be a drastic difference between these early days and, when he's on I mean, who knows how long he'll be in this book, but if on the 3rd arc or something, no,
I can feel that. I'm not even close to dropping it at all, but I just, from Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw's previous work together, I guess honestly, they haven't done a long ongoing arc before, ongoing series before. So they have time. Then we have Immortal Hulk number 17. Whew. We have Little Bird number 3. That comes out very, very on time, and I'm very happy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'm wondering if they're going to I'm sure they'll take a break at some point around the, trade. When the trade comes out,
Doug, I think it ends at 5.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Yeah,
okay. I keep forgetting it's a miniseries.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I want more too.
Yeah, it was something like that. They're probably all done with all of them already.
Yeah.
So there's no reason it wouldn't come out on time.
Mm-hmm. I guess so. I'm
excited for that.
Did you ever figure out what happened with number 2? Did you get more pages?
Yeah, they added the pages back. I think I was the first person to point it out to Darcy Van Holgeest, because he responded and he was like, "Oh shit, I didn't know." And then it took a week, but the pages eventually got added back in.
Okay, that's good.
I still have not read them just because it was so long before, and then I was reading other stuff, so I still need to go back and read the end of that issue. I'll probably do it right before the next one comes out. But it was 9 pages.
That's a lot.
It was really frustrating, but theoretically they're in there. I really hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
I assume that was just some sort of weird technical error.
Yeah. It's gotta
I don't really know who to fault on that, but I felt really bad after doing that, doing that on Twitter. I was like, oh, maybe I should have just sent a ticket.
No.
I mean, because I didn't want to put that on anybody, but I'm glad that they fixed it anyways.
I think it's fine. It's not like you were rude.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's not like you were rude or anything. You were fine.
No,
it's perfectly fine. That's kind of what Twitter is good for, honestly, I think. Holding people accountable in public so that they, get it done faster. Yeah. If you put it in as a ticket, it could be months. I can't
believe no one else I mean, I'm sure other people noticed it, but I can't believe that, that wasn't a bigger... People didn't notice that.
I mean,
I didn't notice at all because it ends at a pretty natural ending point.
I think that's the reason. It ends at a natural ending point, and it's a smaller, it's an image book. It's not as it's not like everybody's talking about Little Bird, which they should be, but it's I get it. I can see it. I don't know. The only reason we noticed,
and it's long.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many pages it is, but it was still like longer than a normal issue.
I think I remember the number. I think you had 31 pages.
I think it was 40 in there, and I had 31.
Yeah.
So I was missing like exactly 9. Anyways.
It's crazy that's 40 pages and it's still like $4. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I would happily pay $5 each for these issues.
Yeah, I'm still kicking myself for not reading it physically, but I can't find the first issue.
Oh, really?
Physically anywhere. So, anyways.
Sorry. Okay, well then we have Naomi number 5, which is also apparently ending at 6 for a break. Like a break.
Yeah, I'm so curious where that book is going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just turn into a superhero book.
It can't.
But I feel like that's where it's leading. But it can't, though, because that's not what's good about that book.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like the DC's Black Hammer.
I'm like, I think it's going to be really fucking weird if she ends up with like superpowers or a super suit or something, and then it's just a book called Naomi, and it's about a superhero. Like, maybe they'll retitle it or something, or they'll relaunch with under their name or something. But like, I don't know. I like it more as like, here's a story. Like, I'm cool with her having connections to the like bigger stuff in the world.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's more interesting, like seeing this more ground level perspective on the world, because that's unique.
I think it's all about the circumstances that they give her. I don't know. It's gonna really be interesting. Another one we have is Spider-Man Life Story number 3. We're in the 80s now. Shit's gonna go down. That's Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's the other one that he's doing. For some reason I was thinking Daredevil's the other one, but again, that's only a 6-issue mini, so he's gonna be able to do another.
I have no idea where that book is going either.
Who the fuck would even tell? Like, goddamn.
Yeah, because it's going to be going so far off the rails. Like that last issue was already getting so far off track of like the classic Spider-Man scenario.
Yeah,
or like his history, and it's going to get weirder and weirder. I feel like
it was like the first issue, the last panel was off the rails, and I didn't know where it was going. And then the second issue was like the last half was like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? And now it's just like wild card. You know,
it's fascinating. Yeah.
So then we have, I'll go faster through this last couple. We have Superman number 11, Brian Michael Bendis, keep doing your shit. And then a new one that I don't know if I'm going to get, but it looks interesting. It's called Last Stop on the Red Line. It's a murder mystery 4-issue mini. Art looks cool. Writer Paul Maybury, artist Sam Lotfi. Have you ever heard of this or heard of these people?
Was it Lofty?
Lotfi. I think it's Lotfi, unless that was a typo on my part.
Oh yeah, I do see that Lotfi. Yeah, I don't really know what these people have done. I also have that on my like I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, depending on how many books end up actually coming out that week, I might skip it. But
it looks.
I don't know. It's not a particularly light week, so
no, it might be a wait for trade thing, if anything. Okay. A
lot of good stuff though.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god.
My app keeps putting Doomsday Clock every week on the next week, and I keep going, no, I know when this comes out. It got delayed to the 22nd or whenever that.
Oh, it's coming out 22nd of this month?
Yep.
Ah, shit. That's awesome. That's next week.
I know, but it was supposed to come out like 2 months ago.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways. Excited though.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks from now though.
So just to end off, I just wanted to get a little quick word, because I talked about earlier how Golden Gail from Black Hammer is probably my favorite character in current comics, like in current series right now. It's just that idea of just every time they speak, I'm entertained. Every time I'm just hanging on their words. And I want to know, Doug, who that is for you right now.
I've been trying to think about that, and I guess it depends on what we mean by that. If you're talking about like the character that most, it sounds like you have just kind of an all-around appreciation for Golden Gail.
Yeah,
in that she's entertaining and she's interesting.
Yeah.
So I feel like
you're hanging on every word that they say in the book that they're in. Maybe not your favorite, just like you're hanging on everything. You know,
the one that most immediately popped into my mind, and this is a very different vibe.
Okay.
When I was originally like, who is the character who I'm like most riveted whenever they speak
Mm-hmm.
to like hear what they have to say. I thought of Immortal Hulk, of the Devil Hulk personality.
Oh wow, okay.
Super
different vibe.
I've just really grown to be like be really interested in like what he has to say.
I can feel that totally.
Partially because we still don't 100% know what he's trying to do generally.
Yeah.
Like what is his deal? But in terms of just kind of like quality of the character, and I don't know if this is like too close to Golden Gale is really fucking good, but I don't know if this is too as a unique answer. I don't know if this is too close to Golden Gale in terms of vibe, but fucking Detective Chimp is really fucking good.
Yeah.
I would be close to saying a lot of the characters in Justice League Dark right now.
Yeah.
Man-Bat. I have a weird affinity for all the non-human characters in comics, but I don't know why. But I guess they're just more interesting to look at. But maybe. But Detective Chimp is just like this great fucking combination of like he can obviously be used for comedic relief. Mm-hmm. He can be this fucking depressing like he has a lot of stuff in common with Golden Gale.
Yeah.
In that there's this kind of like dichotomy between who his character is versus what he looks like, and a lot of the humor comes from that.
But also like this tragic kind of pain in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that they can make that turn at any point to lean into either of those bits, and it works.
Yeah.
So
honestly, it's kind of like what Thor has changed into in the movies, which is, you know, maybe that's just a really great thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But also, fucking Golden Gale's really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
But no, I can totally understand what you're saying about Detective Chimp specifically, and also Immortal Hulk too. Like, if we're going as a left turn to that answer, like it's,
very different reasons for Immortal Hulk, but I'm just, he's riveting. Like, it's this weird, like, almost like dark kind of like satisfaction when you're reading him. You're like, yeah, just be fucking evil as shit.
Yeah.
It's like, and God, I just realized, I'm invoking Kevin Spacey here, but it's like, but let's talk about the writing of the first couple seasons of
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Oh God, yeah.
It's this weird, dark satisfaction in like seeing how this character can like get one over on people, you know?
Oh yeah. I hate the artist, not the art. You know, it's a beautiful, like those first two seasons.
I'm talking about the character.
Okay.
The character of Frank Underwood was fascinating to watch for very different reasons from the reasons you watch other protagonists.
Oh yeah.
And I think the Devil Hulk is similar to that in Immortal Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can absolutely feel that. Okay, cool. Good answer, cool. Doug. Little word, I just wanted to say, Samantha and I are in the middle of watching Daredevil season 3. 2 things. Bullseye is amazing.
He's so good.
Just a few. I'm not going to give any spoilers for this. Don't worry. Never mind. But just the circumstances. Big thing happened with him in the last episode we watched, and it's just Did you
get to the backstory stuff for him?
A little bit. Yes.
The flashback stuff of him as a kid. You'd remember.
Okay. We'll get there.
Okay. When you get there, I'm not a big fan of that stuff. But
okay.
Of a specific thing they do with him.
Okay.
Because I think it's a little on the nose.
Okay.
But I generally really like that character.
Yeah, I just think his current circumstances are so tragic, and the way that, and this isn't really spoilers, just the way that Wilson Fisk, kind of manipulates his situation is so fucking evil.
Yeah. They do the Kingpin stuff they do in season 3 is very good.
Yeah.
Season 3 is great.
Yeah. The other thing there was a scene with Karen Page in the last episode that we saw. I'll go into specifics with you, Dick, later because I don't want to go with spoilers. But I mean, I guess it's been out for a while. No, whatever. Karen Page is just the first season, like the first in general, like the first few episodes specifically, I was really annoyed with Karen Page. Like I was
of the first season?
Yeah. I was like, get away. Like, I don't like you. She just seemed very like meh, but she was also like pouty and whiny. Well,
she was in the beginning of that series. I don't think they really knew what to do with her, and they slowly kind of found a place for her in being this reporter. And
also, they gave her very tragic circumstances right at the beginning, and it was like it was not good for her. Like she was not in a good place mentally, and so she was not at her best for sure.
Yeah, she was not being a like proactive, interesting protagonist. She was just. But what they kind of evolve her into from that is really, really strong. Oh, it's like I love what they've done with her in the past 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, specifically this season, she has taken just a huge step up in like, oh my God, it's her as just the actor. I don't even know who the actor is. What's her name? I don't even know, but she evokes the strength that she has now, but that strength coming from this like kind of weakness that she feels like she has in herself, sort of, but the strength that comes from that is just portrayed so well. And I mean, it comes out of the writing obviously too, but just, she is just a star in that. Like,
her name is Deborah Ann Wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what else she's been in. She was in True Blood, I guess.
True Blood.
I don't know.
I heard that show was actually pretty good, but nonetheless.
She was in the movie Escape Room.
Great. But I just wanted to say, like, she is just a masterclass of just showing, bringing this character to life, and just the writing is just perfect for her right now. I love it. I love it. It's just a 180 from what I thought of her before. Nonetheless, I think that is going to about do it for this week.
as long as we're talking about TV shows, we don't need to talk about it too much because you haven't seen this. Did you watch any more Doom Patrol?
I need to watch more Doom Patrol. I really need to.
So you still haven't seen the Dana the Street one, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Watch that. It's great. But, I didn't watch this Friday's episode, but, I spent a night, like, watching the, 3 episodes I hadn't seen.
Oh, wow.
Before that one, this week. And that show's great. There was one that wasn't as good, but there's there's 2 stories in it, and the second one is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So half of that episode isn't great. The other half is good. But generally that show's still just really, it's just fun. The way they make you care about those characters is really, really cool. Cool.
I think that's going to about do it for this week, though. If you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We are still generally new, even though we're 75 weeks old. A little bit more than that, because I think we missed a couple in there. Whatever.
Yeah.
But the absolute biggest thing, oh my God, Doug, we should do what they do in comics. We should go daily one time.
Oh my God. Daily? That's not even...
Well, because we're already weekly, so we have to do...
Oh, you're right.
We have to do more than that. We have to do an event.
We need to do we need to do twice weekly.
Bi-daily. Twice weekly.
Bi-daily? Yeah. That would be every other day. That's a confusing schedule.
I know. Wait, what's semi-daily? Isn't semi-monthly twice... once every 2 months?
Semi-monthly would be once every few months, I think.
That's right.
Bi-monthly would be once every other month. Twice monthly is twice a month. God, all that shit's confusing.
Okay. Nonetheless, we're going to go daily one time. It'll be great. But the absolute biggest thing you could do for us before that is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. It's easy. I feel like our voices always go high when we say that. At least mine, at least. I don't know.
You can just give us a review. It's easy. Come on, just do it.
Come on. Don't be a bitch. Sorry.
Boy.
Sorry, that was really aggressive. But if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your mouse. We release episodes weekly on Sundays, so be sure to check back next week. Or, better yet, you can subscribe to the podcast feed and never have to think about it. Valuable content.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can do that pretty much wherever you want. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're on TuneIn. We're on Overcast. We're on Google Play Music. We're on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio.
Oh, wow.
We're on Sound proud.
Really?
That's not a thing. I made that up.
Well, there you go.
But if you make up your own podcast app and you scrub iTunes, you'll probably get us on there. We're pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts. So just search Comics Covered. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on our social media pages. We've got a Twitter, an Instagram, a Facebook, and we're under the handle at Comics Covered. Facebook.com/Comics Covered. You can find web archives of all our episodes, all our regular episodes, all our bonus movie and game episodes. I think we've only had one game episode, right? We had the one Spider-Man one.
Yes.
That I did with Brian and Matt from Mashing Buttons.
Our sister podcast.
Hopefully we'll be able to do more. Oh, I didn't bring it up earlier. Very small note. They announced a bunch of the characters in the new Ultimate Alliance game. Very heavy on the MCU characters.
Oh, well, yeah.
Ways that I really hope they expand to some more characters, because it's a bunch of Guardians characters, and I love the Guardians, but like I don't really want to play as them in the Ultimate Alliance games.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to play as Drax.
You don't want to play as Arthur Douglas?
I want like people with more crazy powers, and I feel like limiting yourself. I don't know. Anyways, where was I?
Did you?
So we'll hopefully have more games talk in the future. But anyways, all our regular episodes, all our bonus episodes, on whichever app you prefer. You can find archives of all of those on comicscover.libsyn.com. We've also got versions of those that you can play in a video player on our YouTube channel or Facebook. There's not actually video content down there, but you can do it. If you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on our social media channels, and we'll get back to you. Thank you again for listening.
Yeah.
I've been Doug.
Oh, you've been Doug? Yeah, I said that earlier in the show.
I have been.
Yeah. You're going to say your last name?
I am not anymore. I am no longer.
Oh, shit. So who are you now?
I am Doug the Destroyer. I am Arthur Douglas. Was his last name Douglas?
I'm pretty sure it was Douglas.
Oh, boy. Wow.
So that's your favorite person.
Yeah, I'm Arthur Douglas.
And I am Jack Bakalaka. And this has been Comics Covered. Cheerio, mateys.